iShowSpeed spent one day in Nigeria, specifically in Lagos, during his Africa tour. I spent a week in Lagos State and Ogun State, and I'm going to tell you what Speed missed in Nigeria. First, there's a place in Lagos where you can walk among the treetops. I'm talking as high as 80 feet in the air. Lekki Conservation Center is a wildlife reserve surrounded by the hustle and bustle of the largest metropolis in Africa. It is home to a wide variety of plant and animal life, and it offers about a quarter of a mile long canopy walk, the longest on the continent. Walking across is not for the faint of heart. If you're able to make it all the way, you are rewarded with an amazing view of the treetops, other parts of the conservation center, and some of the city off in the distance. Next is another site that will take you high above sea level. About 90 minutes north of Lagos, in a city called Abeokuta. It's a place with sacred shrines, caves, and tunnels that helped determine the outcome of a war. I'm talking about Olumo Rock. The Egba people, a subgroup of the Yoruba, used the mountain's caves and tunnels in the 1800s to evade enemies advancing on their territory and to monitor their movements from the 137-meter high rock. When you visit, you can either take an elevator to the top, or you can ascend the granite structure in more or less the same fashion as the Egba warriors of yesteryear. I opted for the latter, and it was absolutely a challenging hike to the top. Once you reach the top, you get a very humbling view of the surrounding city as far as the eye can see. If you're finding value in the insights into Nigeria that I'm sharing, please hit the like button on this video to support the channel, and you can find the link to my Ko-fi page in the description below if you'd like to give a tip. Thank you. Now, if you're in the United States, you've probably heard of presidential libraries before. Did you know that some African countries have their own presidential libraries, and that the very first one on the continent was built in Nigeria? Olusegun Obasanjo was the military head of state from 1976 to 1979, and the elected president of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007. The Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library was completed in 2017 and is a sprawling complex of 32 hectares in Abeokuta. It features an open-air amphitheater, an auditorium with 1,000 seats, lodging and dining options, and several other impressive offerings. Fourth is a place that is beautiful in terms of the natural environment, yet possesses a deep, challenging, and emotional history. Speed saw a couple of similar sites in other countries, including Nigeria's neighbor, Benin. I'm talking about Badagry in Lagos State. The coastal town is very close to the border with Benin and is strongly tied to that country via the Porto Novo Creek. Badagry was a key slaving port in the region in the mid to late 1700s and did not delink from transatlantic slavery until 1886. On Gabon Island, you can walk along the same route that captives were forced to walk before being shipped across the Atlantic. Along that route is a water well that was cursed, that captives were forced to drink from to forget their history and their sense of self before being sold to European slavers. At the end of the route is the point of no return, the embarkation point for hundreds of thousands of captives over the centuries. Viewers had, shall we say, mixed opinions and impressions from Speed's Nigeria stream. For Speed, I'm sure it was one of the greatest days of his life because he hit the 50 million subscriber milestone there, and it was his 21st birthday. It was perfect timing. But being there for just a single day, he did miss out on a lot. And in this video, I covered 4 amazing places that he missed. But there are several other places I didn't cover in this video. I visited Nigeria during Dedi December in 2023, and it was my second time visiting the continent. In the future, I'll be releasing a full retrospective on my trip, going into much more detail on all of these places, plus more. Hit the subscribe button now to lock in with Mazayu Media for content that inspires the African diaspora to learn about, travel to, and connect with the regions our ancestors hailed from. And check out this video to learn about the Ayo masquerades of Lagos, and this video to see what Speed missed in Senegal.